Thank you. Deputy Terence Flanagan, next question.
Yes, just to ask the Minister, has he a programme of events or a plan of action, I suppose, as to what role the Defence Forces will play in the 1916 commemorations, the anniversary of them next year, both the Reserve Defence Forces and the Permanent Defence Forces?
Thank you. Minister number 8. Question number 8.
Yeah, as late as yesterday, actually, I was speaking to both the Taoiseach and Minister Humphreys in relation to this issue. Responsibility for the decade of centenaries programme rests with my colleague, Minister for Arts, Heritage and Gaeltacht. Both my department and the Defence Forces will play a significant role in many of the events planned for 2016. There are two existing 1916 annual commemoration events which have significant Department of Defence and Defence Force involvement. These are the anniversary of the 1916 Rising ceremony at the GPO on Easter Sunday and the annual 1916 commemoration ceremony at Arbour Hill. Following the recent launch by Taoiseach and Minister Humphreys of the programme of events for Easter 2016, discussions are now taking place with regard to the involvement of the Defence Forces in the various events planned. It has already been decided that the ceremonial event at the GPO in 2016 will be followed by a march past that will include significant military input. There will also be military participation in the wreath-laying ceremony at Kilmainham Jail. In addition, the Arbour Hill 1916 commemoration will be in 2016, will be held on Sunday the 24th of April, the centenary day of the Rising on Easter Monday. The ceremony will take the form of a requiem mass in the Church of the Most Sacred Heart, Arbour Hill, Dublin 7, for those who died in the 1916 Easter Rising. This will be followed by a graveside ceremony, including interfaith prayers. The Department, as part of the Government Centenary Commemoration Programme, is cataloguing the digitisation of the military service pensions collection in the custody of the military archives. Nearly 300,000 files relating to the period from Easter week 1916 through the War of Independence and Civil War to the 1st of October 1924 comprise this collection. There has been 2 releases of information to date, and a further release is planned between now and Easter 2016. The Department is also building a new facility for the archives at Carlbrua Barracks, comprising of modern storage and reading facilities.
Thank you, Minister.
Obviously, there will be other involvement as well in terms of various things that are happening, but I think that's a flavour of the priorities being made.
Thanks. Thank you, Laskin Corley, and to thank the Minister for his response. I suppose to say that we're all very proud of the tradition and the role that our Defence Forces have played over the past 100 years. And principally, I suppose, the 1916 was a military event that has to be remembered. It's obviously important that a fair balance is struck, obviously, between celebrating that event and the sensitivities of others. And we don't want, obviously, a situation where the event will be hijacked or whatever by others. But just to ask you, I suppose, Minister, as to what input you have had from both the Reserve Defence Forces, RD Fora, and from PD Fora regarding suggestions as to what they would like the role of the Defence Forces to play in this very important anniversary.
Thank you, Minister.
Yeah, no, I mean, I met the representative bodies actually in the last couple of weeks, and this issue was referred to, and I think members of the Defence Forces do want to play, as do members of the Permanent Defence Forces, as do the Reserve Defence Forces, but also former members of the Defence Forces, in terms of they're anxious that they would have some recognition and involvement as well. So I can assure you we'll do what we can to make sure that that this is a year where everybody in Ireland, but particularly those in the Defence Forces who commit their lives to the defence of the state and to its security, that they're very much part of the commemorations, because I think it's appropriate that that would happen.
Thank you. Deputy Flanagan.
Yeah, just to thank the Minister for his response and to welcome the fact that retired members of the Defence Forces will be very much part of this anniversary, their celebrations next year. There is just a fear out there among some Defence Force people that the military end may be toned down by the government, and obviously what happened was a military event, and it's important that a right balance be struck. So just to ask you as to when you will have finalised plans, maybe perhaps to publish as to what's going to happen next year, Minister.
Thank you. Finally,
Yeah, no, what I
Prime
mean,
Minister.
I think there's a lot of plans have already been finalised, but there are still things that we need to do. I mean, there's a broad range of ambition that the government wants to undertake in terms of the commemorations for next year. Some of that involves capital works in Dublin City Centre and elsewhere, and others then are ceremonial events. I would hope that everybody in this House will work together to try and make sure that this is an appropriate commemoration for everybody in the country, regardless of their backgrounds, who want to commemorate a rising that is of huge significance in Irish history. Certainly from a Defence Force perspective, I'm very confident that we'll add to that in the appropriate way.
Thank you.